Hey everyone, this is Richard E from the Austrian perspective. Today is January 25th, 2012. This morning, during a press conference of Federal Open Market Committee, Chairman Ben Bernanke basically released a statement saying that he will hold interest rate at zero to 2014. Now, first, this obviously shows you just how weak and how vulnerable the U.S. economy is. Right? I mean, just without a 0% interest rate, you just couldn't make it. And the reason why they released this statement is to encourage people to take on more debt, right? They're trying to encourage just homeowners to take on their second mortgage or to refinance their houses, and to for those consumers to take on more debt, max out your credit cards and whatnot. Now, whether this thing's going to be effective, I think we are pretty clear about that. As we have undergone 4 years of 0% interest rates, and nothing just seems to be recovering. And of course, keeping interest rates at zero is not without a cost. Although now the pressure is lower on these treasuries because we have the crisis in Europe, so when people worry, I mean, they buy into treasuries, so that sort of suppress the, the yield on those treasury bonds. But think about it, right? In the future, I mean, people might just realize, hey, maybe the treasuries and the dollar are not as safe, so they gradually don't buy as much. So I mean, in order to keep interest rate at zero, the Fed obviously has to print more U.S. dollar to buy treasuries, which in terms, this balance sheet would definitely grow, and dollar would depreciate against other currencies, and of course against real assets. And of course today we see the gold market, actually commodity market, is just soaring after the statement is released. And this puts us in a position that likely in the future we will face just total global currency depreciation against real assets. They might not depreciate against each other, but definitely against real assets they will be depreciating. Why? Because I mean, just look at it, right? Just a few major currencies. Um, we take like euro for example. Now we have crisis, obviously, and no matter what solution they're gonna find, eventually they will have to start printing money. Because face it, I mean, all those European nations, except a few, maybe Germany and France, I mean, they all have serious unfunded liabilities, right? I mean, their politicians overpromise their people, so now in the future, they have to face the cost, right? I mean, look, likely printing money is the only solution they have because they don't have that economic strength to support all those empty promises like free healthcare and whatnot. So I mean, euro will definitely start being crazily printed, and of course we have the U.S. has been on a long history of loose monetary policy. So I mean, definitely the dollar will depreciate against real assets. That's pretty for sure. And also we have this interesting situation in Asia that many of those Asian countries they rely just heavily on export. I mean, they just couldn't see their exchange rate rise too much against the dollar, right? If they do, I mean, their economy gets harmed. Um, Although they're thinking about form a sort of an Asian trading zone to have yuan and the yen standard currency, so I mean they can bypass the US dollar. So I mean that dollar depreciation just doesn't have that much of an effect on their exports. But I mean in the short run, that's not really practical because I mean it takes time to change this kind of stuff, right? So I mean, the likelihood of like global currency depreciation uh, is really likely to take place. So I mean, if that happens, the only safe haven is really to hold in real assets like gold or silver or oil, right? I mean, those are relatively safer because they cannot be printed by the government, right? They have value and they cannot be printed. And just be prepared for anything that just might happen because this decade is like not gonna look anything like the past decade, right? It's gonna be far worse. So be prepared. I guess that's it for today. I'll be vlogging again soon, guys. Take care. Bye.